is Siti Nurrahima binti Azmi. My material number is 280159. I'm going to present about introduction. Risk management is a process that can help an organization identify the risks that an organization faces to reduce the impact of loss and select the most appropriate techniques for treating such exposures. Every business faces the risk of unexpected, so that it can cost a lot of money to the organization. That is why risk management helps an organization to prepare for the unexpected by identifying the risk. For our business, we choose childcare named Brainy Bunch International Islamic Montessori to identify sources of risk, potential hazards, and perils. Brainy Bunch is a childcare and was established in 2010 as a local brand kindergarten to offer Islamic Montessori in an English medium. Childcare is a place that can occur many types of risks because the area fills the home with children aged between 18 months to 3 years old. So, we need to be careful and pay full attention to avoid any outcomes that can occur in childcare due to currents. If we do not pay full attention, it can cause a bad reputation to the childcare sector and involve many parties to solve the problems. Safety in childcare is essential because it can cause harm to people, property, and the environment due to accidents. We choose Brainy Bunch as our topic because we found that there are few postings regarding the parents' feedback that send their children to the childcare that are located in different branches. The parent publishes their dissatisfaction towards the childcare in their social media and suggests what Brainy Bunch should improve in the future for the children's safety. This issue has attracted us to identify the peril, hazard, and type of source related to the Brainy Bunch and make an observation on their other branches in Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Amisha with the metric number 2790077. We present about the first and second point of the risk that might occur in a childcare center. First is a risk that can happen from childcare center's operation environment that can bring up the period of bullying. According to National Center Against Bullying, a bully can be described as an ongoing and deliberate misuse of power in relationships through repeated verbal, physical, or social behavior intended to cause physical, social, or psychological harm. For your information, there are various types of bullying, but biting and hitting behavior is the most common bullying that happens among the young children. The caregiver's negligence toward the children's physical bullying actions may cause a long-term effect and severe injuries for the victim. This type of physical bullying will leave scratches, bruises, or other bodily marks. The risk is classified under operational risk because it happened because of the poor daily operation by the childcare, as it is their job scope to take care for the children's safety and welfare. This period will absolutely impact the business because it is related to the children's safety, and the parents might take legal actions to compensate for the child's injuries due to negligence toward their child. Another source of risk that came from the physical environment is the bad quality management of the childcare, especially during the pandemic of COVID-19. The hazard will occur if the childcare didn't meet compliance with the standard operation procedures (SOP) to ensure continuous operations. If one of the child get affected by the COVID-19, the pupil in the childcare can become infected and spread it to others too, and it will create a new chain of infections. This was classified as a strategic risk because there is uncertainty of the childcare goals during the pandemic in managing and protecting the safety of the children. Furthermore, the government have come up with a risk assessment during the pandemic specifically for children, such as to guide the risk assessment and infection prevention to ensure their operation is COVID secure. This risk will have a significant impact on childcare because it will impact a job loss if the childcare needs to shut down for a certain period until the condition is stable. Nevertheless, the outsider might also get the bad news and transfer their children to another childcare center, and this can cause the loss for the childcare center too. So I think that's all from me. I will let another presenter to continue. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hidayah binti Muhammad Rizal, metric number 273357. Now, I'm going to continue and discuss further on the source of risk that happens in a childcare. I would like to discuss on the physical environment risk. As we all know, most childcare can't avoid facing the physical environment risk. Since the children love to have an outdoor space to do some physical activities, the peril identified is the old playground equipment. Some of the childcare will prepare a playground for the children, but it turns out to be a dangerous old playground that exposes a high risk to the children without a good management of the playground. The hazard that can increase the probability of loss is when there is a rickety and rusty playground equipment in the area. This unattended equipment can lead to falls or serious injury to the children. This has involved liability risk, where the possibility of being held legally for bodily injury to the third party. This is also means that the childcare will be sued for the harm that occur among the children from the physical environment. Other peril in the operating environment is the communicable disease among children in the childcare. The condition will worsen when the hazard of an unhygienic and unsanitary environment, because some children will touch anything that they see and put it in their mouth. This will transfer the kids germ from one party to another party. Besides, some children may have more sensitive skin than others and will naturally react to the unhygienic physical environment, which result in irritations and dermatitis. I would like to point out the report of U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in 2013. Children are vulnerable to pollutant exposure as their bodies are developing. If the childcare doesn't consider the hygienic and sanitary seriously, especially during the pandemic of COVID-19, it will expose to high risk of infections and cost the children's life. In this situation, the type of risk is the personal risk that will directly affect the individual or family, which means that the children will get a poor health as the consequences of the disease. The poor health may include the medical expenses of the last illness or even the burial costs if a severe illness happens. If the peril and hazard occur, it will affect the reputations of the childcare due to the negligence of the child's safety. That's all from me. I will pass it to my friends to continue more.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Norafida binti Abdul Rashid Han, and my number metric is 272630. Today I will present the 2 points of risk exposure in childcare business. Firstly, the source of risk of childcare is operational environment, which the peril is an unqualified caregiver. The caregiver need to have minimum formal qualification according to National Occupational Skill Standard that define a specific skills required for each level in becoming childcare expert. They will learn the fundamental of child development, the supervising the children for emergency incidents. However, many are still employed with lack of the knowledge of basic first aid training, which is hazard for the children. It is danger for the children if something happen to them, such as chokes on food. Unqualified caregiver falls under operational risk because it results from the particular childcare management that didn't concern about the caregiver qualifications. As for the impact, late action from the caregiver can cause worse consequences for children, with difficulty in breathing or even death. And the parent can sue the childcare for the carelessness and bodily injury for their kids. Next. Okay, next for the business environment. One of the perils is unlicensed childcare. License helps business. License help to guide business with the regulation and policy for the childcare, from staffing to health and safety guidelines. Unlicensed childcare operates without restriction with the government policy of a company. The staff is employed without a stable skill to take care of children and do not know the requirement of the facility that suit the children. This is classified
classified as a legal risk because that is related to the law when operating a childcare. For the hazard, which is inadequate of a children, can it would be difficult for the child parent to obtain insurance protections since the childcare do not take insurance for the children. But the owner can be sued by a solid legal case, such as person who involved in the children's injury. As a impact for the business, the authority will instruct the childcare to close their fine. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and Hi, my name is Siti Shamimi binti Rosli and my matric number is 272790. I will continue the next part of physical environment. So what else can be occur in childcare business? Let me see. The period of the physical environment can be sharp tools and equipment. The hazard that can be happen when sharp tools and equipment can easily reachable by the children, such as pushpin and paperclip. Besides that, unsuitable toys that can be played by kids. This is because most of them still do not know how to play the toys properly, and the toys can easily break or damage that may hurt them, like mini car wheels and screws. And this will cause the purist which is injured, such as bleeding and choke. Therefore, the impact to organization when this happens will affect the childcare business due to cases of injury to the children. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Aimati Sulaiman, matric number 273355. I will be discussing on another peril of physical environment at the Brainy Bunch Childcare, which is the lack of medical care. The hazard that increases the probability of loss due to this peril is there is no first aid kits provided in the premise. As we all know, the children in the category of toddler until preschooler, with the age range between 1 to 5 years old, they are normally active. They tend to enjoy themselves by running, chasing each other, playing all around the premises, and these situations may cause accidents when they fall or knock any of their body parts. Therefore, it is very essential for a childcare premise to provide an adequate set of first aid kits, as it is very important for the children to get their first treatment as soon as possible, because we don't want any unwanted consequences to happen, such as fatality, if the injuries were that serious and they don't get immediate treatment. And this situation is classified under the pure risk in terms of personal risk, as which it increases the probability and chances of premature death among the children. The last peril to be discussed on Brainy Bunch under the category of physical environment is fire. The hazard that increases the probability of loss due to this peril is the misuse of wiring that may cause short circuit. The picture below was taken at one of the premises of Brainy Bunch Childcare, showing an extension plug was placed under a cupboard directly on the floor. This situation may cause accident if the plug was switched on and accidentally one of the children were playing around and he spilled water near the area. This situation may cause shock of current and may lead to premature death. Also, this situation may cause short circuit and it is potentially to cause fire in the premise. Hence, this situation may lead to pure risk in the category of personal risk. The children will face higher probability of death due to fire that caused by short circuit, as the children will have a lower tendency in surviving themselves in the fire, and this will lead to premature death. That is all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
In conclusion, childcare is a place where you need to be aware of the risks, perils, and hazards to protect the children and minimize any of the losses that can happen in the childcare. We have listed and explained the sources of risk, perils, and potential hazards for the Brainy Bunch based on our experiences and observations. We can conclude that each party should play their role Well, neither the childcare nor the parents in taking care of the children. The childcare should always provide a safe and secure environment to prevent and reduce the risk happens. Besides, the parents also need to do some research on childcare, whether childcare is a safer place to leave their child while busy working and do not have time to take care of their children.